Hello, welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. And today, I'm going to talk to you about another film that is severely underrated. Came out almost 10 years ago, starring Dawyne Johnson. And that film is Snitch. Starring, as I mentioned, Dawyne Johnson, John Bernthal, Susan Sarandon, and Barry Piper. It's a story about a man who's willing to go undercover for the DEA to, I believe she's the DEA or attorney, district attorney, to find evidence to get his son out of prison, or at least to reduce the sentence. First off, I like to admit that the score of this movie is very good. I love the score of this. When I discovered this film, they advertised it like some sort of cheesy action movie like early Universal 2000s, but I don't think this is a Universal property. Dawyne Johnson plays a business guy who runs a lot of truck shippings. His name is in the film he plays a guy named John Matthews. He's a I guess happy-go-lucky guy on his second marriage. The life kind of seems to, I would say, starting to look up to him. The guy is very well off. Unfortunately, his son, who gets into some sort of drug bust or drug deal, which ends up him getting arrested. He's gets I guess, a maximum of a 10-year sentence, and then I guess maximum of a 10-year sentence. Then, when Dawyne Johnson's character comes in, he tries to negotiate with Susan Sarandon's character. Her name is Johanna. Her name is Keegan in the film. I believe she's like the district attorney or something. He tries to take matters into his own hands of trying to, I guess, start where some of the drug uh, busts are happening or some of the drug deals. So he tries to find a lead, but unfortunately that doesn't pan out, and then he ends up finding somebody who happens to be working for him at his at his company, as his truck company, John Bernthal, who happens to be used to be a part of a drug running low level, I guess, organization, and he's the kind of character that's trying to get out, not trying to go back and do it again. But his life is also on the line of, well, I guess his character kind of been on uh has gotten a few strikes, and if he gets another strike, he's trying to not get another strike. Yeah, you know what? Maybe you should have just whacked Dwayne Johnson, took off the money, and just took off. No, 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 no. He under pressure, under pressure, and just like really trying to like figure out like should he trust Dwayne Johnson. Now I'm gonna tell you what, Dwayne Johnson, his character, he tells him like straight out lies, like I'm doing this because my business is in trouble, which really he's trying to do this to get his son out. Eventually, he does tell him the truth later on in the film, but the tension between him and John Bernthal gets really, really intense. Like John Bernthal is a really good actor. Like this guy, he does so well when it comes to like trying to keep his cool, like kind of like in a masculine presence, but then he does a good job delivering frustration, confusion, panic. He does a phenomenal job expressing those type of emotions in his acting. He's phenomenal at that. He's done it in actually a lot of his movies. He's done it in Tell Me, for Those Who Wish Me Dead, um, the the Wolf of Wall Street, even in The Punisher, Netflix The Punisher. Like every time he is on the screen, this guy nails his role. He nails it. This like he is a sight to see on this movie, John Berthold. But Dawyne Johnson, and I think this is really the first film that he's kind of tackled a very dramatic role. And I think this is. I think like 9 years ago. I think this film really was the first film that Dawyne Johnson tackled a. I wouldn't say like a serious role, but a very dramatic, drama-based film. And this is more of a crime action thriller with dramatic elements. And the director of this film, his name is Rick. What's his name? Rick something. Rick Roman Way. And I think this might be a third feature or his fourth. He's directed quite a few prison movies. He's directed Shot Caller, and I think he directed another film called Felon. And I could see that kind of topic of films he likes to discuss is a strong point. Like he really gets dive deep into the procedures. I guess the whole world of drug trafficking and prison. The guy does really well with this kind of subject matters. I could see this kind of filmmaker. I could see this filmmaker tackling more genres in that field, and I think this is his specialty here. And what I really loved about this film is not only Dawyne Johnson's performance, but how gritty and laid back that the film tries to be with his action and tries to go more for a drama. It takes its time to really build up action. There's really only two action scenes in the whole film. There's a shootout scene, and then there's a long, somewhat, I don't necessarily say it's long, but there's a pretty good car chase scene where Dawyne Johnson eventually does get found out. And there's actually that sequence is the selling point of the trailer of him trying to escape out of there alive. And actually, it's probably one of my favorite car chase scenes in the last decade. Like it's really intense. Like you see him having a shotgun and trying to shoot out while he's being shoot in and kind of what's the word, pinned inside the truck as he's trying to get away, and he has like 5 cartel cars, kind of just trying to ram him off the road, shoot his tires out, and nail him in the way. Like it gets very claustrophobic a little bit and just very intense. Like it's like wow. And Dawyne Johnson again delivers a great, amazing performance in here. And it's underrated. I think his performance in here is underrated. So is this film. If you have seen Snitch, let me know in the comment section what you thought about it. This film is currently on HBO Max. I watched it. I revisited yesterday, watching it again with my grandmother. She really loved it. She thought it was a very intense movie. Comment below, let me know what is your favorite underrated film.